all of my horror fans, especially my slasher fans. If you've not watched this movie, don't even continue watching the review. Go watch it, then come back, and let's celebrate a brand new Thanksgiving slasher movie.
Here's Johnny.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Expecto Patronum!
Thanksgiving stars Patrick Dempsey and Nell Valerque, and is about after a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday. From writer and director Eli Roth, the man who brought you the original Cabin Fever and the original Hostel movie. Those movies alone should tell you this movie is going to be gory. So we have Thanksgiving. We now have a Thanksgiving slasher icon and a horror movie because there's not many of them. I can't even think of one on top of my head besides like really low budget kind of horror movies. So Sony released an original slasher. That's what this is, people. This is an 80s inspired slasher. Now, I did read somewhere that it might have been 90s inspired, like Scream. In my opinion, through all the slasher horror movies I've seen a whole bunch of them, this is an 80s slasher movie set in 2023. And you need to know that, because if you don't, I went with a group of friends tonight. They hated this movie. They said it was the worst movie of the year. But me, the horror fan, the man that loves good horror and some cheesy ones, this one is cheesy for sure. But I had fun. The biggest praise and the biggest positive you're going to hear from everyone are the kills. This movie goes practical kills, A+, and the gore is there. This movie's gory. The trailers have teased how gory it can be. You have not seen the gore in this movie until you see this movie. Eli Roth holds nothing back, and I appreciate him for that. This movie gives you great kills. It's honestly the main reason to watch this movie, which is like 80% of 80s slashers are the famous kills. This is that movie. Seriously. And all of them were pretty freaking awesome. Honestly, there weren't any disappointing ones. Even small little ones, Eli Roth's gonna make sure you see brains, guts, limbs fall off. It has it all, and I really appreciate practical effects too. And that's really it. The movie's really well made. Great sound design. I was in a packed theater on a Friday night for this horror movie, and it was the perfect surrounding. Everyone was so into the intensity scenes when there's shots of characters with the killer right there in front of them, behind them, and the audience is like freaking out. The theater was perfect for this movie. It was a lot of fun to watch this movie with a packed theater. And just seeing a slasher movie like this in 2023 is so awesome, because most today's horror movies are demonic possession kind of stuff. And there's a lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones. But these slasher movies have been making an epic return with Michael Myers, Ghostface, and such. We have an original one here, which I loved seeing. I love the killer in this movie. I love the mysterious aspect. I will say, my friend and I definitely picked out our suspects, and we both locked in on one character throughout the entire movie, and once it's revealed, we high-fived and we knew it. We definitely called it, so I would say it's a predictable, easy killer to find, but, watch the movie, figure it out, have fun with it, because it does a good job at, like, a lot of red herrings and shit like that. But with most slasher comes the story and characters, and just like most of them, those are out the window. I'll say this, Patrick Dempsey is good in this movie. I liked him. I really did. And early on, like the opening scene, the Black Friday scene, was honestly maybe my favorite intensity scene, because Eli Roth does a lot of just with scope and chaos in this movie, and there's some awesome sound design, awesome production design. I already said about the kills, just very inventive scare scenes that are audience bound. I really appreciate that. But like I said, when it comes to our characters, Patrick Dempsey's good. everyone else is pretty god awful. There is the boyfriend character, and this character, he's the boyfriend character of Addison Rae, which Addison Rae, she's better in this movie than she was on that Netflix movie, but not really much. But the boyfriend character of hers, I hope to see you in a better thing, my guy, but in this movie, you were not good. You were really over the top, and it was not working. Now, again, most slasher movies have performances that are not good. This movie continues that trend. There's a ton of bad acting, but this bad acting comes with some of the worst dialogue you're going to hear all year. It was cringy. It was really sitting in theaters like, did you really just say that? Like, there are moments in this movie that are awful, awful dialogue. Very Eli Roth cursing too, which is just overboard with the F-bomb and just all over the place. And this is Boston, Massachusetts, and everyone did a really good job with the accents, by the way. And it really, you could tell Eli Roth was like, F word, F word, F word, F word, and he put it in all over this movie. Also, his comedy, hit or miss. There's a few chuckles, but not really a funny movie. It goes for the blood and gore. That's what you're going to get. And it gets real ridiculous. And this third act, it's fun as hell as a slasher fan. But I have to say, the last 5 minutes, man, I thought the last Hunger Games movie had a rushed ending. This motherfucker, oh my God. The ending of this movie, the last 5 minutes, I've never seen some of the worst editing and the worst rushed scenes ever, and things that do not make sense. This script is horrible in just things that don't make sense. Characters are here, this character's there, and then once you reveal the killer, you're like, that don't make sense, and the movie falls apart. I went to dinner afterward with my friends, and they were picking it apart because they hated the movie. I was sitting there saying, listen, it's not a great movie, but it's supposed to be an 80s slasher throwback, and that's what they did, and I had fun with it. The kills are there. That is the reason to see this movie. Really fun sound design, scare scenes, a really cool Thanksgiving killer. There's not much to say here. It's not a great movie, but if you are an 80s slasher horror fan, and I enjoy a lot of those movies, there are some trash ones. This one is on the brink of it, but in the end, damn, I had a good time. I'm going to give Thanksgiving a B-. And I'm just saying this right now. I want to be a director. I would love to direct a horror movie. I love horror movies. So I have a script that I have written in the past and we have brought up, and we are in the midst of looking at creating it one day, maybe into a feature. All I'm going to say is, all my fans who are out there, if you're out there, cool. This movie has some stuff in it that I was in there saying, that's in my script. That idea is in my script. So in the future, do not, I'm saying it now, I am not copying. I swear, I'm saying it. There are implications in my script that this movie has. I was like, no, I gotta rewrite it. Anyway, guys, I had fun with it. It's not a great written movie whatsoever, but damn it, I had a fun time. I can't lie. Anyway, guys, enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.